Warming up is always important. We need to warm up before we do any kind of exercise because we want to loosen everything up. We don't want to pull anything when we're exercising. That being said, I want you to be aware of your body, and if any of these exercises hurt, I want you to leave them out. I just want you to skip them altogether. Okay? So to start, we're going to work from our head down. We're going to start with some neck stretching exercises. We'll want to sit all the way back in our chair, but we don't want to be leaning back. We don't want to be slouching. We kind of want to be supported in our lower back, but we don't want to be, leaning too far back. So our shoulders and our spine is going to be elongated, but our lower back is going to be supported in the chair. So let's start like we got a string pulling us up. Our shoulders are down and relaxed. Let's start by looking over our shoulders, going from side to side. Go as far as you can go, unless it causes you pain. And once you get over, I want you to hold it for a second until you feel that stretch. And then switch. Continue at your own pace. Just go in a nice gentle stretch back and forth. If you're hearing any crackling or popping, that's normal. I'm hearing it right now. Next stretch we're going to do is we're going to be tilting our head. So we're still staying upright. I want you to take your ear and try and touch it to your shoulder. I don't want you to try and lift up your shoulder while you're doing it though. We're just going to get a nice stretch on the opposite side. So I want you to go and hold that stretch. Come back to the other side. Really loosen up the side of that neck. Sometimes we can just do this exercise, and that's okay. We'll do it a couple more times. And with any of these warm-up exercises, you can do them as long as you want. This video is just to kind of guide you through them. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to go high and low. We're going to try and raise our chin up to touch the ceiling. When we're doing that though, I want you to think of keeping your teeth together and maybe play with it. As you raise up, if you let your teeth separate, you can feel like you're not getting as good of a stretch. When you hold them together, you really feel that stretch a little better up there. And then we come back down. Let's bring our chin all the way down into our chest, maintaining that good posture still. The only thing we're moving is our neck. You can even hold this one a little while longer. And come back down. And relax, come back to neutral. Let's do a little work on our shoulders, okay? Let's just start rolling in one direction, keeping our hands down flat. We're just doing our shoulders right now. And then switch, go the opposite direction. And let's start to do something with our wrists, warming up our wrists, maybe even wiggling our fingers while we're doing that, just to get everything moving. And switch directions. Let's add in our forearms, loosening up those elbows. And like everything, we go to the opposite way. And we're going to add in some arm circles. Now, if you got any shoulder pain, I want you to be aware that you don't have to go up high. So if we're doing circles with our arms, we can go like this. But if we have some shoulder pain, we can still do these circles at a lower level. Allow us to get some benefit from it without causing us any additional pain. And one thing I'd like to address before we go any further is if you're sitting in a chair or in a wheelchair, I prefer you to do it without any armrests. That'll give you the freedom to move. And if your wheelchair has armrests that retract back or take off, go ahead and take those off now. Okay, so we're doing some arm circles. And the opposite direction. Let's get a little twisty in our waist and our body. So let's go and tap ourselves on the chest as we go from one side to the other. We give those shoulders some love from all that work we've already done with them. We're going to do some more. All right. And the final exercise we're going to do, well, the second to last, is let's warm up our hips a little bit if we can. If you've got the trunk strength to do this. If not, we can skip this part moving forward. But if you do, let's lean over to the left, come down, around, and back up to the right, and then back down to the right, down, chin by the knees, back up. I'm just going to do this a couple of times. Do it at your own pace. And last one, and back. Great. The final warm-up exercise we're going to do, I want you to reach forward with your arms towards your toes, and I want you to scoop with your hands. We're going to come back, splash our face, and then stretch back like this. Bring our hands back down towards our toes, scoop up with the hands, splash the face, stretch back. Last time down, scoop up, splash, and let's bring our hands back into our lap. Work out any kinks that we might have noticed that we had on the way. And then from here on, we're going to move to our next lesson, cloud hands. To begin, we're going to start with a warm-up. All exercises should begin with a warm-up because we want to loosen up the body before we get into anything really heavy. So to begin, we're going to work our way from the head down. We're going to start with some neck loosening exercises. Let's go ahead and just turn our head like we're trying to look over our shoulder until we feel a nice stretch, and then hold it for a second, and then go back to the other side. We're just going to casually keep doing this at your own pace. Really trying to loosen everything up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to tilt our head. We want to try and touch our ear to our shoulder, but we don't want to lift up our shoulder while we're doing that. We're just going to tilt over so we feel that nice stretch here. Again, hold it for a second, and then come back to the other side. If you hear any crackling or popping, that's natural. But I would like to put forward with any exercises that we're doing, if you feel any pain, I'd like you to stop doing any specific of the exercises. Okay, the next one we're going to do is we're going to lift our chin up and then bring it down. One thing I want you to think of when you're doing this is keep your teeth together. I don't want you to clench your jaw, but if you raise your chin up and you let your teeth separate and then you put them back together, you'll feel a big difference in the stretch underneath your chin. So as we go up, again, hold it for a second and then come back down and bring your chin all the way down into your chest. And just at your own pace, continue on. And whenever you're ready, come back to the neutral position. Let's start working on our arms. Let's take our hands, spin our wrists in circles one direction. If you want to do one direction literally, you can do that, or we can just go like this. And then switch. And then we're going to start working our elbows into it, moving our forearms in a circle. And then switching directions again. There's always two sides to every exercise. And let's add in our full arms, like we're doing the backstroke. We're tired of doing the backstroke, so we're going to do the butterfly. If you have any problems with your shoulders, one thing I recommend is doing these exercises, but never going over shoulder height. So if we need to do these arm circles down here, you'll get just as much benefit without causing the extra pain. Okay, moving down to the waist. We're gonna let's stand with our feet about shoulder width apart, and we're gonna let our arms swing over from side to side. Maybe even let the arms slap us a little bit. Liven up the nervous system, get the blood pumping. And if you want to switch it up, we can go tap our shoulder, tap our other side of our arms, and then just come down and tap behind us on the kidneys. And just keep going up and down as we do it. This is a really good exercise just to kind of loosen everything up. If there's any one exercise that you do, this is a good one to start your day. All right, just let it come to a slow stop. Put your hands on your hips, and we're gonna do a little hula hoop. What I want you to do is I want you to keep your head in the same place and go as far or as close as you can, whatever's comfortable for you. We're just gonna warm up our hips and then switch directions. Good job. And let's come back. I want you to bring your feet together now. And then I want you to put your knees together with your hands. We're gonna take our hands, pushing our knees together. We're gonna slightly bend our knees, come back and sit back down with your butt. And we're gonna do some circles with our knees. Now again, if you have some knee problems and this causes you pain, just skip it altogether. Or if you need to go smaller, you can always go smaller. Just remember to listen to your body. It's gonna tell you what's right and wrong. And then as everything, we're gonna switch directions, go the other way. And for another couple of seconds, and let's relax. All right, we're gonna stand back up, bring our feet out about shoulder distance. What I want you to do is take a toe, tap it to the ground, and then we're gonna roll our ankle in a circle, or just move your knee in a circle. Either way, we're trying to loosen up that ankle a little bit. And then switch directions. And then let's switch feet. Everything needs to be balanced. One direction. And then the opposite direction. And then relax. Let's bring our feet back in, shoulder distance wide. And then the final exercise we're gonna do is we're gonna reach down and scoop up, pull back and stretch back. And then let our hands come down towards our toes, scooping up, splashing the face and stretching back. Good. One more time, down to the toes, pulling up, splashing the face and stretching back. Great. All right, that concludes our warm-up. Let's start getting into some other exercises.